Good afternoon. My name is Dana Smothers. I'm a senior here at Bowie State University, majoring in political science, and today I'm giving a persuasive speech on abortions and whether or not they should be legal, especially in the cases of rape and incest. There are many different issues in today's society, such as violence and drugs, but the most uprising issue is abortions. It's a very controversial but yet important issue in today's society. For centuries, the issue of unwanted pregnancies have been one of the greatest concerns to women and men of all cultures. Throughout the ages, there have been the thought of morality and the wisdom of an abortion, considered by many to be the solution to unwanted pregnancies. Indeed, rigorous scrutiny has led many societies to create laws governing against this practice. Abortion has generated intense controversy. Some feel strongly that abortion is morally wrong, while others firmly advocate the rights of women in this regard. Their different views present several arguments. Most individuals believe that abortions should be outlawed unless it's due to medical complications of the mother, and the mother was forced to abort the baby because it would die during birth or have a high chance of killing the mother during birth. Abortions based on the baby's health account for 3% of abortions, while abortions based upon the mother's health only account for 3% also. So that's a total of 6% of abortions, which was stated in the article, Why Do Women Have Abortions, by Justin J.D. Torres. January 22nd in 1973 marked a day that was a giant step for women's rights in the modern-day feminist world. The U.S. Supreme Court declared a decision in the Roe v. Wade case, and it was a decision that set the guide for all abortion cases that have followed. This decision constitutionalized their rights to privacy. It encompassed whether or not a woman could make a decision to terminate her pregnancy. It was stated in an article by Claire, who wrote Abortion and Women's Right, Unification of Pro-Life and Pro-Choice Through Feminism. She states that without abortion, women would unjustly be forced into motherhood. From a feminist standpoint, denying the right for a woman to choose to have an abortion forces them into a submissive role in society. Pregnancy works to condemn women to second-class citizenship, since in our society, mothers are second-class citizens. Once a woman becomes a mother, her resources to education, employment, and healthcare become severely limited. What I got from this quote was that if a woman has their own rights, then she should be able to decide whether or not she wants to have an abortion or not. It was stated that if abortion wasn't allowed, then women would only have two options. Option number one was for women to go through illegal abortion, would have to put their bodies at risk, and option number two, which was for them to keep the child. But in this situation, how would you feel if you were raped or had sex during incest and you had to keep your baby? How would that make you feel? In this situation, this is a disadvantage for women and the unborn child also, allowing for women to determine whether or not they can have an abortion or not, giving them their own right to manage their own bodies. In an article, Let's Get Real About Abortions by David Frum states that if women are raped, she must endure not only the trauma of the assault of the rape, but she must also accept the economic cost in potentially many thousands of dollars raising this child. He raises questions as to if the burden should fall on her alone. Once again, I asked you, how would you feel if your daughter was raped and she had to keep that child? Would you make her keep that child? How would you feel? Your daughter has trauma. She may not want to keep that child, so would you make her keep that child? I don't believe that's right for you to make that decision for her. I think she should be able to make that decision on her own. In 2008, approximately, there were 1.21 million abortions that took place in the U.S., which was down from an estimated 1.29 million in 2002. There was 1.31 million in 2000 and 1.36 million in 1996. From 1973 through 2008, nearly 50 million legal abortions have occurred in the U.S. With this statistic, I see that over time that abortions are dropping, but it's still a very important issue, because if we decide for these women that they should keep these children, then they're carrying this burden for the rest of their lives, and I don't think that's fair towards them. In 2009, the highest number of reported abortions occurred in New York, which was 119,996. Next came Florida with 81,000, following Texas, which had 77,000 abortions. So abortions in these big states, it sounds like a big number, but compared to the population of these states, it's not really that many abortions that are occurring. In conclusion, the choice over when and whether to have a child is central to a woman's independence and ability to determine her future. The Supreme Court justice system, represented by Sandra Day O'Connor, wrote in a 1992 decision in Planned Parenthood v. Casey, the ability of women to participate equally in the economic and social life of the nation has been facilitated by their ability to control their reproductive lives. I believe that this is a woman's right, and if she wants to have an abortion, that no one should judge her for her own decisions of whether or not to go through with it. Thank you.